In Florida, there was an inmate who had mental health issues. He defecated in his cell, refused to clean it up. He had bipolar issues, perhaps wasn't getting all his medication. Because he refused to clean up his cell, the guards then took him to another cell, which had a hose hooked up in a portion of it. They proceeded to blast 180-degree water into the cell until it killed him. And then they made another inmate clean up the cell where the guy's skin had basically roasted off of him and was all over the cell.
Basically, that guy boiled to death.
Basically.
Torture.
Torture.
Straight up torture. And this was in a prison in Florida. And it came out this week that those guards that did this, the two guards that did this, would not face any charges. Not just that they weren't going to face murder charges, they weren't facing any charges. And this is just, I can't think of any other way to describe it other than outrageous.
I wonder if there's still guards at the, that's one thing I couldn't find out. I wonder if there's still guards at the same facility. I mean,
doubt it.
God, it's just astounding. And
It really is.
Especially for a person with mental illness, if they were in the throes of a psychiatric issue or a schizophrenic episode and they were out of their mind, I cannot imagine
it happened,
the suffering.
It happened at the Dade County Correctional Institution. The inmate's name was Darren Rainey, and he was 50 years old, and he suffered from schizophrenia. Just a number of issues, and I just don't see how nothing happens other than maybe these guys get fired.
Schizophrenia is one of those things. It's not something you get because it's not something you take a medicine and you can control it with medicine sometimes, but it's not something you ask for, you bring on yourself, or you cause necessarily. And so if this person, whether he was medicated or not, it's just he may have been out of his mind at the time, leading up to him going into the shower, and the events that precipitated him. I don't think there ever is a reason that you could be put into a shower like that and tortured, but just the events leading up to that, he probably had no control over, possibly had no control over his actions, and it's just, it's awful.
They had a 4-year investigation. They issued a 101-page report, and the conclusion was that there was no evidence of wrongdoing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but if you blast somebody with a hose of water that is 180 degrees, in my view, that alone
for 2 hours
is just even doing it. Let's set aside the time.
You're right. Even for a second.
Even for a second, you blast someone with 180 degrees scalding hot water. That's wrong.